Hello. Welcome to Stream-A-Thon with Rim Alternus. I'm your GM Ava, and I am very tired. It is 3 a.m. for me. What am I giving away?
Yeah.
Yes, I need to find that chat.
So apparently
Here
I'm gonna send it to you.
is... Oh yes, we are giving away an item from Geekforge. One of the light up fire prop pairs. So a pair of light up fire props.
Cool.
That's all the information I have. I'm pretty sure they do them in different colors. You will likely get to choose, or maybe it's just fire, so you just get the red. But to enter in for a chance to win that, you can drop a hashtag RimPC in the chat for one entry. 100 bits gets you one entry. 1 subscribe gives you 7. And if you donate to the GoFundMe, you get 1 entry per dollar that you donate. And you have to be present at the end of the drawing at the end of the game to claim your prize. So if you stick with us, you deserve it. And so we're playing Shadowrun 5th edition because it's probably the only rule set I know well enough to run at 3 a.m. Let's just go around, introduce yourselves. Like I said, Ava Rogers. I'm the GM, crowdfunding director here at Rim Alternus. So I'm in charge of all of the Kickstarters you've been hearing about if you've been with us for any length of time tonight. And Roland, who are you? What are you doing?
Oh, hey guys, I'm Roland. I'm a regular dude by day, regular NPC by Rem Alternus, I guess. Tonight I think I might be the most fresh and energetic. Yeah, tonight I play Mr. Bell. You can see me play Mr. Bell on Thursday nights on Gen Con TV. We have our Roll with Rem show. Other than that, I haven't been on Rem Alternus for a while. It's midnight here in Hawaii. Still early in comparison to everybody else.
Isabeth.
Yep.
Hello, I am Isabeth or Elizabeth, either one. I don't really care. It's 5:30 in the morning here. I'll answer pretty much anything at this point. Here at Rem, I am words. I help out with video editing, and I also play Drusilla on Light Clockwork every Sunday at 7 Central. But yeah, it's me.
And yes, that'll work.
So I'm Zane Powell. I play games. That's pretty much what I do. Is I play games, and I mean, I haven't really been anywhere. I think this is the first time I've been on anyone's stream. So, hi world. Can you see me? Hi.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, it's 5:30 here too, so I'm waiting for coffee to kick in.
Le Bob.
Hi, basically what Zhang Pao said, just a regular gamer, and I got pulled into this by myself, unfortunately. Or fortunately. It is not yet 11 p.m. this side, so I'm still semi-fresh. Might regret it tomorrow at work.
Nice.
That's a given at this time of night. All right. So I know some of the answers to this, but what is everybody's experience with 5th edition? So I know what kind of gloves to wear.
I have
So-
played one shot, and that's it.
I've played a few Shadowrun games, mainly at Gen Con. I've done, let's see, I did start like 2 campaigns, like when the pandemic first hit, but they were all like off stream with other people, but on the interwebs. So I know about the system, but I would not be comfortable GMing, if that makes sense.
I play 6th Ed, and I've played 5th Ed years ago.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Sounds good. So, the setting we're using is Seattle because that's what I'm most familiar with, and I like the Seattle setting. It is, I don't know if I chose a year, 2078, I think, is what I'll go with.
70s. I like it.
It is raining, as it often is in Seattle. It's pretty late, probably 11 p.m. or so. What are each of your characters doing? And when you get a call or otherwise contact from your fixer for a job. Roland, we'll start with you. So if you'll describe your character and what he's doing at the time.
Okay. My character is Mr. Bell. He is a lithe, and definition of lithe is skinny with a little bit of a grace, and that does absolutely describe him. Mr. Bell's kind of a mixture between Jack Skellington and the Smiling Man from Creepypasta. He has a black on black suit with a waistcoat, a green paisley tie tucked into his vest. He's got a sterling silver pocket watch that disappears under his coat. His hair's slick. Well, I try to kind of cosplay a little bit. Hair slicked back, long. Not long intentionally, just long from years of being used to slicking short hair, and somewhere along the way it got longer. Mr. Bell has an interesting history. He's a contracted professional, we'll call it, and his place of work is a hotel, not unlike the Continental on John Wick. So as we play, you'll notice he has an odd mannerism, but during the day when he's not actually running, he literally stands in front of the front desk of his rundown hotel for hours until he gets a call. So I would be standing in front of the front desk with my arms folded behind my back, like Morpheus in the Matrix, with a permanent plastic smile on my face, just staring at the door, until my fixer is actually the concierge of our hotel. We're the only 2 members left of the hotel. The concierge would come in and give me my assignment, and that's what Mr. Bell would be doing.
Oh. No, I'm not muted. Okay.
No.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
describe your character and what they're doing when you get notified. I'll go over the actual contact and the job as we get descriptions done.
Trix is an elf, about 5'4"-ish, about 168, and she has bright blue hair that she wears in a mohawk. She typically wears black fishnet tights with a pair of cutoff jeans, black boots, typically some sort of torn t-shirt with a black trench coat. And she is very introverted. So she would have been hanging out at her apartment on her computer when she gets the call.
And how does your how does your fixer contact you?
I have a burner phone that she would call me on.
All right. And Zhang Pao, what is your character? Or Elizabeth, what is your? Did you say your character's handle? Their runner handle.
I
What
don't
they go by
remember.
on the street.
She goes by Trix.
Tricks. All right. Zhang Pao.
So I'm gonna be playing Cinnamon. So Cinnamon is about 6 feet tall, 2 inches. She comes in at about 176 pounds. She's a very large and muscular woman with a frame that resembles almost a truck. People often mistake her for being a person that likes to do things physical, but she does know, while she does know some martial arts, she would much rather do things with magic. So she is a spell slinger. She does carry some hardware around because experience has taught her that you can't always count on magic to be 100% perfect all the time. Her hair is at the roots is dark, almost brownish or black. Further up, the hair changes to almost like a reddish color that seems to be orange also. And then it kind of intertwine, the two colors kind of intermingle with themselves until it gets to the tips, and then the tips are going to be like an ashen gray color. She walks around in a black leather jacket, red crop top. She's also wearing blue jeans and worn and faded in some areas, and brown hiking boots. She doesn't really have a certain fixer. She just has like people that she knows, and she kind of considers them fixers. So she'll just kind of get calls from different people saying, "Hey, how you doing? I got something for you. Are you interested?" And then she would just kind of, from everything, all the messages that she gets, she kind of yes, no, yes, no. At 11 p.m., she'd probably be in her little hole in the wall type apartment, trying to decide, it's 11 o'clock. I could probably go to sleep right now. It's like, maybe if nothing else happens, I'll probably go to sleep. So it's one of those, do I stay up? Do I go to sleep? I'm not sure. Am I tired? Can I go to sleep right now if I go to bed?
So meta.
No, I know the answer to that one right now.
So I guess she would be the opposite of everybody, all of us right now.
And Lay Bob.
My character's name is Stretch. He hails from Japan. Skinhead. He usually wears suits, grey suits with white shirts, red ties, and he'll be sitting in his flat listening to some Asian trip hop and working on his mini drones.
All right. How does your fixer contact you?
It would just be a voicemail to a dead drop, and then there'll be a voicemail notification.
Alrighty. So, in your various means, calls or voice messages, or just your concierge, you'll get notification that there is someone looking for a team of runners. Pretty light on details, but it's not, the information that they do have is it's not a big time deal. It's pretty small time, but they've got the funds to back it up. And if you're interested, to meet actually in about like 2 hours, probably 1 a.m. at a bar in Redmond. Sort of between, like, at the very edge of what's considered Touristville. So for those how familiar, Elizabeth, are you with the meta of Seattle? The good and bad parts of town.
I am not familiar with Seattle at all.
Okay.
Sorry.
Redmond? No, that's fine. I just needed to know how much I needed to describe for people. Redmond is one of the Barrens areas. There's 2 Barrens in Seattle. Redmond is the rundown, shitty gangs mostly run most of Redmond. Not Lone Star. Jesus, where are we? Knight Errant doesn't really police much the further you get out in Redmond.
Isn't it a little radioactive too?
That's Puyallup.
Oh.
No, wait. No, Glow City is in... Yeah, no. Way out in Redmond is a portion called Glow City that is pretty radioactive. And so, but there's a nice portion of the Barrens between... It's between Redmond and Bellevue, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's what borders it. But on the west side of Redmond is a pretty nicer part, the Touristville. Called so because that's where some of your rich kids go to play ganger and feel like they're badass. So Knight Errant will respond to calls in Touristville eventually. So the bar, you're told, it's kind of right there on the edge of Touristville. So you're still in a decent part of the Barrens.
I will start cleaning up and putting everything, that I pulled out of the drones back into the drones, and start loading up my van and getting ready to head out.
I'm assuming you all accept the job, because otherwise...
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I don't have a choice.
We all declined the job and we decided to spend the day at the carnival.
You know what? I could do that. I would come up with something.
I can just say, you know what? Swipe left and we all go to sleep. How about that?
We could do a downtime session in the middle of a Stream-A-Thon. Why not? A one-shot downtime session. Why not? All right. So,
what I'm gonna be, what you'll be doing is just kind of look at it and then just kind of, for like a moment, kind of remember, hey, remember about the gang she used to run with. Well, not really the gang, the group that she used to run with. Be like, yeah, would have been nice if I could call them, but more likely it's gonna be a new people, new group, new team. Let's go do this. She will get into her Toyota Gopher and just kind of, since it is 2 hours and she doesn't live like too far from that area, kind of take her time, maybe take the long way around, see what's anything new in the neighborhood, and just kind of get there eventually.
all right. That brings up my next question. Where are you coming from? How are you getting there? And what time do you intend to arrive? So let's just go ahead. I'm going to use the same order because it's clockwise on my screen. So Roland,
So
how does Mr. Bell get in there?
There, like I said, the concierge and myself are the only ones left in the hotel. And normally there would be a valet department where we would have cars brought up for us. That doesn't exist anymore. So as soon as I've given my assignment, I leave out the front door. The Green Mansion, which is the name of the hotel, it's a real place in Seattle. Stimson Green Mansion is what it's really called, and it's on First Hill on Minor Ave. And so I'm in downtown, basically. I walk out the front door, and I start heading for where I know more privileged people hang out. I activate the stealth cloaking on my suit, and I would steal a car and drive that to where I have to go. What do I have to roll?
First, make me an edge roll. So just roll a number of dice equal to your edge rating.
Okay.
I can't remember if it's 3 or 5 for you. And I made the character. All right.
5d6.
Yes. And if you put greater than 5 at the end of it, it'll count the number of hits.
I'm using the advanced roll. Do I still need to do a thing?
I don't even know how that works. Roll it. We'll figure it
Okay,
out.
roll. Okay, rolling. 1 hit, 1 fail.
1 hit. You didn't glitch it. It's pretty late, but there's where exactly do you go? Like, what kind of place are you looking for a vehicle at like 11 p.m. at night?
Well, the last time I stole a car, it was outside of a club. Some asshole was throwing his keys to the valet. I intercepted it, and I sat in his driver's seat and took off. I'm also cloaked, so can't see.
Yeah, you've got your RPC, yeah. You don't quite get that lucky this time. They are at this time of night, everybody that's going to be at the club is at the club already. Or are fashionably late and aren't here yet. But you do find a vehicle that was not parked in the paid parking. So maybe they're not as rich as they're trying to look rich by coming here, maybe. It's a decent car. We'll go with I think a Shenyang's a pretty decent car.
I'll take your word for it. I usually try to target rich people like that because I don't want to hurt the working class, you know? That's usually Robin Hood mentality.
Fair enough, but you do manage to get a car. They left it unlocked because it's pretty safe in downtown. Typically. So yeah, you are able to get there. What time are you aiming to get there? So you've got about 2 hours from when you get the notification to when the meet is.
Well,
Well, you're in downtown. Let's see, downtown to Redmond.
Also, I'm a professional, so I would have left the second I was assigned. So give me 15 minutes to get my gear together, and then I left out immediately. From downtown to Redmond, it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Depends on traffic. We'll go with 30 minutes. I think at that late at night there wouldn't be too much traffic. So yeah, you'll get there in about half an hour. So you'll be there a bit over an hour before the meet is scheduled.
And I would then in stealth do a few laps around the perimeter and kind of see what we're facing in the area.
All right, so we'll get back to that.
Sure.
I do like to keep track of when people show up. So let's see, hour 15 before the meet. Yeah. Mr. Bell. Isabits, how does Trick's getting there? Where is she coming from? And how early does she intend to get there? If early at all.
She has a Suzuki Mirage that she is going to use to get there.
Mhm.
I want to get there about an hour early, and I want to kind of park to where I can see the entrance of the bar, and I just kind of want to watch. As for where I am coming from, my apartment. I'm not really sure where that's located.
Let's see. Let me find one of my let me find a Seattle map from so what kind of lifestyle did you take?
Medium?
What's your aesthetic?
Medium lifestyle, all right. Where is my good map of Seattle? Oh my god, of course that link is no longer a thing. Because medium lifestyle can be pretty much anywhere in Seattle, because you could have a nice place in Touristville, a pretty low tier place in anywhere, like downtown. You might be able to find a small apartment at a medium lifestyle.
I would say she probably wants to live somewhere, and she doesn't want to be in like the really, really bad part of town because she doesn't want to have to worry about people breaking in and stealing her shit. But she doesn't want to live anywhere where it's like really high end. She likes to be somewhere like in between the really, really bad area and like the meh okay area. Somewhere where people will leave her alone and she doesn't have to worry about people stealing her stuff.
So that sounds like maybe an area of Renton, which
I was thinking the same thing.
it's basically it's the way it's described on this map that I pulled up is pretty spot on. It's one of the most average districts in Seattle. Primarily like middle, low class residential is what you're looking at. You got less than 20% below the poverty level in Renton. So if you're coming from somewhere in Renton, you're probably gonna want to go through. Where is I can't remember where Glow City is. Is Glow City South Redmond?
I don't know.
Should be southeast.
Yeah, so you probably take a route through Bellevue, which is one of the better neighborhoods in Seattle. Mostly like a lot of white collar.
The link that you posted, Scratch, I grew up with that kid. I went to high school with him.
Okay, nice.
Sorry. I just recognized that name.
Oh, I didn't even realize somebody posted. Okay. That's the one I'm using. All right. So yeah, you can probably get there in an hour after you get the message. And on a bike you'd be able to traverse it pretty easily. It is late at night, so there's not like a whole lot of traffic, and on that route through Bellevue, just go ahead and roll me edge real quick.
Right? Oh wait, did I mess that up? Oh, I messed that up. Oh, I got 0 successes.
0 successes, but you didn't glitch it or anything, So at one point, as you're driving through Bellevue, excuse me, for a moment, you think somebody is tailing you, and then you do hear the, let's say, telltale whoops of a go gang. Do you know what I mean by a go gang?
No, but I
Biker
assume
gang.
okay.
Yeah, biker gangs
Okay.
in. However, as you you try to get your eyes on them, where are they coming from? Which gang is it? How familiar are you with Seattle gangs? Do you have any knowledge skills regarding them, or
Probably not. I took mostly skills in like computer and hacking and stuff like that. So I would assume I probably don't know very much.
so you would be able to you'd be able to see that they for one, they're all human men. The few that you spot, at least there's probably about half a dozen that you spot. They're not targeting you, but you are one of the few people in the vicinity. And they are all decked out in leather, and one gets closer, and that's fetish wear.
Can I outrun them on my bike and just GTFO?
Yeah, they don't hassle you. They're not targeting you.
Okay.
It's just a little bit of, for a moment, you think maybe.
Okay.
And yeah, you can get there about an hour before they meet. It doesn't slow you down or anything.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to park and then just kind of watch.
Okay. Jane Powell, Cinnamon, how does she get there? Where's she coming from, etc.?
So she lives in the middle of Redmond.
Mm.
So she's been living in the same place for a while now. So she knows the neighbors, and the neighbors know her. So if anybody messes with her stuff, she knows she can pretty much get rid of them, and nobody's gonna say anything because it's not the neighbors, and it'll probably be the neighbors will probably be the ones to let me know, hey, by the way, they're messing with your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I'll probably be taking the Toyota Gopher, and is probably go over there. Is there like a parking lot in the in this bar area?
Oh yeah. The bar has a small parking lot.
Yeah, I'll probably go into just park in the parking lot and probably arrive like 15 minutes before the time. Like I said, she's in. There was the message didn't seem to be like any type of rush, so she's doing everything at a very leisurely pace.
Yeah, that's about right. The message that you got basically did everything short of calling it a milk run.
Mm-hmm. So it was just like, oh, it's another run. Nothing important, nothing urgent. I can take my time. So that's pretty much what she's doing. Just taking her time and getting there just 15 minutes early. That's cool.
So when you say mid Seattle or mid Redmond, like, you're looking at the same map that I am, right? So you're talking like Union Hill? Or like Cottage Lake, because the way Redmond, it's kind of long.
Yeah, that's how I've never really established where it's just an area where it's still run down, but it's not as dangerous for me. because like if somebody were to come to my place, then they might be seen as, who is this person? Why are they here? They would probably be looked down on until I tell people, oh, don't worry, they're cool. So it is.
Okay. So it's not necessarily safer. You just know people.
Yes. From the outside, it's like, oh my goodness, you live there? How can you live there? Look at this. Look at this. This is, how are you not dead yet?
Ooh,
but I'm just like, I know people.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to make your way there unmolested. There's not a whole lot of especially violent gangs active in your particular area. There might be a few one gang that calls it turf, but they're more protection racket, we'll say. Less than take your kneecaps out until you don't pay your dues. And
Yeah,
then, you know. But you know the guy that comes around collecting dues every month, so you're good.
We already paid
right.
for this month, so we're good.
Yeah. And Stretch, how does Stretch get there? When do they intend to arrive, etc.?
We probably decide to arrive about half an hour beforehand, and we're taking our bulldog van from Everett down to Toursville.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see. From Everett to Toursville, where is? Oh, Everett's at the very north. All right. So, roll me edge.
Roll up to find our edge.
Oh, goodness. All right. With one success, you'll want to do greater than 5 because roll 20 counts it as greater than or equal to, so it's also counting the 4s as successes with the greater than 4.
See if that works. There we go.
Yeah. So, with one success and no glitching to be seen, you make your way there. Nobody hassles you. And let's see, from Everett to Southeast Redmond. And you wanted to get there 30 minutes before? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, nobody slows you down. Nobody really gets in your way. The traffic at this time of night doesn't really slow you down. So yeah, you're able to get there 30 minutes beforehand. Do you go in? Are you watching the building or going right into the parking lot? What do you do when you arrive?
Scratch will go parking lot, wait 20 minutes, surveilling the building, and then he will go in.
All right, so let's start in order of arrival. So Mr. Bell, you probably don't realize it yet, but you are the first to arrive, and you said you were basically circling the building to make sure nothing's hinky, right?
Mm-hmm. And I do it real casual with my arms folded behind my back, just taking a look at what's going around. If I can find a back entrance where maybe there's like a single bouncer or something, I would try to slip in that way.
In a suit and tie in Redmond.
Well, I'm also invisible, so
that's true. You do have your RPC, so yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't really take a perception test. How familiar is Mr. Bell with Seattle gangs?
Not.
Okay.
I feel like I should be though, but I didn't put that in to my character sheets.
Well, I mean, just think, character-wise, would he
Sure.
have experience with them?
He's very intimately involved with the Triad, the Yakuza, and the Mafia. But
Okay.
small gangs, not sure. I guess if there were offshoots of any of those. But yeah. I don't know about in
Had
Redmond.
any work with- Oh, well, in Redmond, there's, I think, typically a lot of Yakuza in Redmond. They have a lot of their, like, bunraku parlors out here. At least the shittier ones. Can you shut the fuck up, please? Sorry, my roommate is annoying the shit out of me.
Nice.
Yeah, but you probably wouldn't be familiar with what gang, but there's a couple of the bikes in the parking lot. They stand out, not in the fact that they don't belong, because they very much look like they belong in the Redmond Barrens, but because they are... Did I take yours out 4 on her bike? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, there it is. Definitely belongs to a go-ganger of some kind. The coloration also stands out quite a lot, because it's like hot pink with black accents, and there's a couple of them. You don't recognize the gang. It's not one that you're familiar with. It's not like any Triad or Yakuza or anything. You're pretty sure most of them wouldn't be caught dead on a hot pink bike.
Okay.
Okay, my system decided to spaz for a second. Okay. But everything... Nothing looks hinky. There is a back door, no bouncer, but it looks like it probably leads to a kitchen. Whatever small kitchen that this bar has. The front door does have a bouncer. Not like a bouncer. More... I mean, he's a big guy. He's an orc. He's there to make sure nobody gets rowdy. So I guess that is a bouncer. But he's not like... He's not checking your ID at the door.
Yeah, just muscle. I would try to slip into the kitchen if I could.
Am I not? Is it just me, or can I not hear Roland?
I can hear him.
It's me. Give me one moment.
Sure.
I think she wants to talk to you, Roland.
I get that.
Okay, there we go. My system spazzed for a second, and so it I guess it killed my audio, but all right.
I said
disconnect and reconnect. I'm good.
I said I would probably try to slip in through the kitchen, stealth through the kitchen, and anything that was immediately in my path that's out of place. Say there was maybe a couple of pots and pans that were kind of disorganized or anything like that. I would try to stealthily fix them.
Okay. Roll me edge real quick, just to see. I want to see.
Sure. So
because I use that to make my decisions for me.
Yeah, on the advanced roll, it says compounded Shadowrun style, so I'm going to see what that does.
Oh, I bet I know how it... Okay. Go for it.
Oh, it's a 9. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, that... Okay, so that looks like it explodes your 6s.
Oh,
so that would be if you pre-edged a roll.
Oh, okay. Is that just one hit or something? Should I do it a different way?
Do the regular, yeah.
Okay.
Because that's not a Shadowrun roll at all, actually. Because you don't add your dice like that.
Where did you get the 9 from?
Because it rolled it kind of like a Savage Worlds roll. So it exploded. The 6 exploded. It rolled a 3 the second time, and so it combined it to add 9. It looks like. All right, 2 successes on Edge. The back door is actually like propped open with a brick, and you smell very recent like cigarette smoke. So at least one of the guys in the kitchen is a smoker, and they've propped the door open. So
If the butt is still a little bit lit, I would put it out.
yep, all right, fair enough. you definitely put that entirely on your way out, and it's sort of like
Kitchen's got a
brushing that off your
ghost.
hands briefly, and you make your way inside. Just for shits and giggles, roll me your stealth.
Sure. Let's see what it is. Sneaking, right? So
Sneaking, yes.
Not familiar with this character sheet. So it's a 12. There's a die. There's a 6 in brackets.
So
Is it
12
6?
is it's 12 is the number of dice you'll roll. That is the ranks plus your agility. Did I put a specialization in urban for yours?
You did, yeah.
So that would add 2 dice. So you would be rolling 14 dice.
Okay.
And the 6 in brackets is your limit.
Okay.
I think I'll have to actually look at a hero left sheet again. Yeah, these guys have no chance of noticing you, especially in rating for ruthenium polymer coating.
Yeah, and the way I move is because he's very heavily based on the Smiling Man and creepypasta. I'm almost like daintily floating around and fixing things and stealthing through the kitchen as I head towards wherever the main room is.
Like I said, the kitchen's got a ghost.
Yeah.
So you make your way through this kitchen. It's not a big kitchen. There's 2 guys back here working. One dwarf, the poor guy, has kind of like a stool that he slides on wheels, and then to get tall enough to reach a lot of the stuff. The other guys, human, they both look bored out of their skulls. There's not a whole lot that they're working on. But they also aren't the cleanest. So as you're passing some of the dishes in the dish pit, you just stack them properly instead of that haphazard mess that they were just from being brought back and just thrown into the dish pit. And so you organize that on your way through. As you're making your way into the main part of the bar, there's a mop and bucket just kind of across a doorway. And so you move that, and you the closet's right there for all the cleaning supplies, and you stop and put that back, and then stop for a minute and organize the closet so that everything's in what you deem as its proper place, and make your way into the proper area of the bar. You come out beside where the actual bar is.
And then I'd probably just post up in a dark corner and then kind of survey to see if there's anybody else who's out of place like I am, and also look for maybe somebody who's waiting for people to arrive.
Not out of place like you are, but it's pretty obvious who owns those bikes outside that you noticed, because they're very obvious. There is an orc woman. I'm pretty sure I grabbed the artwork that I used for her. The spoiler, this is one of my old PCs, because I didn't feel like actually making anything new. I just used what I already had.
Cool.
It might eventually post it. But it's an orc woman. She looks actually pretty young. That's the artwork there on the table that I used for her. So pretty slim, especially for an orc. Long, dark hair, shaved on both sides, and wearing a hot pink armored jacket. And it's got like black, it's got the black accents, the spikes that don't actually like do anything except look badass.
Yeah.
And their gloves are black, but a hot pink jacket, and we'll say you're behind her, and so you can see on the back of her jacket it says big sis.
Oh, okay.
And there's a oh shit, was she an elf? I think she was. We'll say she was an elf. There's an elf in an elf woman in a similar jacket. Was that little? I don't remember what she was called. It doesn't. There's nothing special in her jacket. But an elven woman in a similar hot pink armored leather jacket, seated like on the arm of her chair. So right there, basically on top of her.
Cool. I would, kind of as a last thing, I would, where is that? Because my brain doesn't remember what that's called. Perceive. Oh, astral perceive, and kind of just like sit back in the corner and then wait to see if like somebody else from our group shows up first and approaches whoever we're supposed to meet. But I would just stand there in the corner like a creeper and look at everybody and watch everybody.
Hey, did I give you any sensing dice? I don't think I did. I think I skipped over that, even though you have astral perception. I'm gonna adjust your sheet on the fly here. What is your intuition?
4.
Roll 8 dice for me.
Okay.
As you're looking about in astral space. Forward slash.
Oh, shoots. I knew that.
You're fine. Okay. I don't have the sensing table on me, in front of me, but so you're looking around. Nothing about the bar itself stands out. There's not even a noticeable background count because it's not like everybody's got it down. It's not like there's no party atmosphere, so there's no emotions mucking about the astral space here. There's no spirits, no active spells, but as you're looking at the two that you're pretty sure one of those two is your Johnson that you're supposed to meet. You were told you would know who it is.
Oh, okay.
And there's no corporate stooge that's like obviously out of place here in the Barrens. There's like a few other actually it's probably pretty full at about 1 a.m. Yeah, not many people have cleared out of a Redmond bar at 1 a.m. So it's pretty full, but those two have like a table to themselves. Nobody else is with them, and they've got one of the booths actually. No, because you wouldn't be behind there. Yeah, one of the tables. And they kind of look like they're waiting for people, but you do notice the orc woman. What's your magic rating? I think it's just 6, isn't it?
It's 6, yeah. At least in my other game.
Yeah, I don't think I gave him any initiate grade in racist magic. So she's she's got as much magic as you do.
Oh, okay.
But there's no active spells on her, but she glows. The woman beside her is the exact opposite. You can barely, when you switch over to astral space, you can barely even notice her almost because she has so much cyberware in her body
Oh,
that
yeah.
she's barely got any essence remaining.
Got it.
And so you're hanging back. Trix, you are the next to enter. You probably enter sometime while he's examining this front room because he spent a bit of time in the back organizing everything. So you were sitting outside, right? Examining the place. You're more on the Matrix side of things. You also notice the same bike, those hot pink Go Ganger. Which bike did she have? I think it was a racing bike. Yeah, there's one of them is this years out Suzuki Mirage. It's very distinctive, so when I say years out, I don't know if anybody else. I used to live on a street in my hometown that was known on Saturday nights. That's where they go from one end to the other, thinking they're hot shit. And so the kind of cars that did that, the ones that have the LED colored lights on the bottom, the hot shit rims, whatever. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about when I say years out. And these are out the ass. These are customized to hell and back. So you notice those. Nothing else really stands out in the parking lot. The bar itself seems nothing really noteworthy about it. It's just your Redmond bar. In fact, it's pretty quiet tonight. Like, there's no bar fight going on. There's gunshots in the distance, but nobody being shot out back or anything. Which might not be a nightly occurrence in Redmond, but it's not unheard of.
That's wholesome.
About 10 minutes until it's time to actually meet, I will go in and I will grab a seat at the bar if it's available, and just kind of order a whiskey and just kind of look around the bar while I'm waiting.
All right, so before you go in, Stretch, you got there about 30 minutes beforehand, so Mr. Bell, you've been surveying the place quietly for a while. Did you ever take a seat, or did you just like find a corner that's out of the way to stand?
I just stand, yeah, awkwardly. I might have straightened a chair or something that was in my vicinity if nobody was watching.
You've got RPC 4. I don't think she's got even a chance of seeing you. Okay. I'm not even gonna have you roll because she's got a -4 dice pool penalty due to your ruthenium polymer coating. So, Stretch, did you go right in as you arrived?
Well, I would, like I said, hang 30 minutes in the van, just observing. And as I get out, I'll launch my little fly spy drone just to do overhead surveillance, and then go straight in.
So overhead outside, so you have eyes on the external as you're inside. Okay. So you go inside about right the time you were supposed to be there.
Yes.
Okay. And Cinnamon, you got there about 15 minutes after. So you're not aware of it yet. But Trix, you went inside 30 minutes beforehand?
No, only about 10 minutes.
10 minutes, right. 10 minutes is when you actually go in. You go in right on time. Okay, 15 minutes. Do you go right inside? You went right inside when you got there, right? That's what you said.
She just kind of parks the car, and then she's walking up. She looks at the bouncer, and just kind of, because she is Scottish, and so she just kind of looks at the bouncer and gives him a "Oi," and then just keeps walking in, goes straight to the bar and orders a whiskey, and just kind of puts her back to the bar, and just kind of is not really like looking at the bar, but not really paying attention, just kind of off in her own world, enjoying her whiskey, Just kind of waiting to see if anybody.
Does Cinnamon have any street cred?
Yes.
How much?
So she was a part of the Ancients when she was in New York. So she does know something about gangs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. She does have some knowledge of criminal organizations, mainly the Russian mafia or the Vori.
The Vori, yeah. Does she have any street cred herself, though? How long has she been in Seattle? You said she's from New York. Has she had any time to make a name for herself in the right or wrong circles in Seattle yet?
Not in Seattle. In Seattle, she only has a street cred of 1.
Okay. Any knowledge of Seattle gangs?
She probably knows of them, but she's never really interacted with them. Like, she would probably know about the Ancients, because, like...
Right, they've got a chapter everywhere.
Yeah. But other than that, it's just like, Seattle has gangs. It's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Well, you'd recognize those same bikes as definitely belonging to go-gangers of some stripe or another. Tricks and Stretch, you would notice Cinnamon arrive, but she's... I mean, you're living in Redmond, you kind of look like you belong here, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks like she belongs here.
Yeah.
I could probably be a regular at this bar. You don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, you do notice. I've already forgotten what description you gave of your character.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, all of you, to be honest.
Oh.
Except Mr. Bell. I know what Mr. Bell looks like. But anyway, you do, the two of you outside watching the bar, do notice Cinnamon arrive. It's no particular note. There have been, especially Tricks as you've been here longer, there's been a few people come and go. Nothing really stands out about this newcomer. Those bikes have been sitting there this entire time, but I mean, you've been here less than an hour, so who knows when they got here before you. So yeah, Cinnamon, you enter the bar about 15 minutes prior. It's full but not packed. There are the same two that I described earlier, the orc and the elven woman in the bright hot pink jackets. Obviously the owners of those bikes outside, and you're pretty sure one of them is your Johnson.
Yeah. That's why I won't really, like, when I do my scan of the bar, since they are such a hot pink color, I just kind of give them 2 looks and be like, okay, cool colors, must be gangs, okay. And then just keep looking at everybody else in the bar and just kind of think, oh, that person is about to, yep, that's what I thought, there you go. You know, just kind of not really... If something happens, I'm not going to step in because that's not my...
Because it's Redmond.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yep, there he goes. I knew he was going to do that.
So do you go to the bar? Do you go straight to the gear?
No, I'm staying at the bar. Like I said, I'm keeping my back to the, almost like leaning on the bar.
Okay.
Like, even if there's a stool, I'll probably go around the stool so that I'm standing, and so that if something does happen in my direction, I can actually have an action. Okay. I don't have to stand up.
All right. So a few minutes after you enter Tricks, this is when, shortly after Cinnamon arrives, is when you get there. You finally decide to pull into the parking lot, park your bike, and you go inside. And you do find a spot at the bar. You notice the same two that I've been describing. Hot pink jackets, gangers. They look pretty at ease here. Every so often, the Mr. Bell, you would have noticed this. They they talk in hushed tones to the other. Occasionally, the orc will whisper something to the elven woman, who laughs occasionally, and you're pretty sure they're together. Just the way they've been acting towards one another, that's a couple. And so yeah. And some minutes after you get your drink tricks, that's when you come in, Stretch. Same scene I've laid out for everybody else. That is definitely that's definitely the person who hired you. They are pretty obvious.
I will walk towards them and just nod.
How long has Stretch been in Seattle?
About 4 or 5 years.
All that time, have they been a runner in Seattle on the Shadowrun scene?
Yes.
Roll memory for me. I'm pretty sure that's the roll for this.
Memory, where art thou?
Should be...
God, yeah.
God, what is memory?
8.
Logic and... Can't remember if it's logic and intuition or...
Yep, got it. 2 successes.
All right. You actually recognize both of these two, because they are both Shadowrunners as well. The elven woman, it takes a minute to recognize because you're blinded by the pink for a moment. But once you get past that, it's pretty obvious who the half orc is, because like she wears her jacket on runs and like makes no secret of who she is. She goes by Kara as a runner. But the back of her jacket says Big Sis, which is what her gang calls her. And the woman on her arm is probably even more notorious as a Shadowrunner. That's a Assault Bunny. Most people just call her Bunny. She is a what do they call it? A razor girl? I think is the term. Street samurai, but will like focus on, well, there's also the assault weapons. She's very fast, very deadly, very good at what she does. And those are the people that are hiring you.
Right, I will just basically go and stand in front of them, suit and tie, fold my hands in front of me, say, Miss Kara, Miss Bunny, you rang?
Yeah, I was expecting more of you. And Kara kind of like turns and looks at the bar real quick, eyeing the people that are there. Looks at the others in the bar. How long have she doesn't spot you, Belle, but Trix and Sediment, how long have you guys been Shadowrunners in Seattle?
In Seattle, because
Yeah.
like a lot of my jobs have been outside of Seattle, so like I've lived here for a while, but I haven't really done too many jobs in Seattle. I've done a lot of my jobs that have been outside of Seattle.
And you live in the Barrens, right?
Yes.
I don't remember what I stated their territory was. You might be more familiar with this gang than any of the others, just given because they are a gang active in Seattle. In Redmond, rather.
Yeah.
So you recognize that yeah, where's my tables at? So they're a Go gang. They operate in a part of Touristville. Kind of right there. Actually, maybe this bar is part of what they consider their turf. Because they operate right there on that edge between Touristville and the shittier parts of Redmond. And they've got a reputation as like thrill seekers. Like they're not out shooting people. They're just out for the adrenaline rush. But they're also really protective of the neighborhood that they call home. So mess with anybody in the neighborhood, and you've got two Shadowrunners heading a gang coming at you.
I think that's probably why I would just kind of give them their space, because I understand that this is how gangs work. You know, when two gangs get into a bar, one goes to one side, the other goes to the other side. You know, it's just we leave each other alone until something needs to be done.
So as we get closer, Stretch another individual has approached the table of the women you're pretty sure are the ones hiring you. Do you take a seat, Stretch? Because like Kara will like gesture at the seat for you to have a seat and order something.
Yes, if they offer a seat, I will sit down, unbutton my jacket, and just sit and wait.
Yep, and Kara will like gesture for the waitress to be around. And the other three of you do realize it is the time that you were told for the meet.
When as soon as I see Scratch kind of come up to the table, my attention would go towards the table, and then when I notice that other people are also actually clocking the table, then I would start to move through the crowd towards the table. What are they drinking? I want to get close and kind of peer in, see what they're drinking.
Kara just has whatever bottle of what they call beer that they have. Like it's she is a soy wiser.
Nice. And what about Bunny?
Bunny, she's hitting the harder stuff, but she does not seem inebriated.
So I wouldn't get close to the table, but I would try to peer and see what they're drinking. I would head straight for the bar, and as I'm heading towards the bar, I slowly start to when I like reappear, it looks like I'm 16-bit pixelating from my legs up to my head. And I do that in the crowd and try to walk towards the bar without, I mean, if I scare somebody, I just do. That's kind of my thing. But I want to go to the bar and order them a drink. And then I would go back and I would drop it in front of them and stand with my arms behind my back next to the table after giving them a drink.
You get a very like appraising look from Kara and a appreciative grin as she picks up the fresh bottle and pops the top and downs like half of it in one go. Bunny is a little more sus of you.
That's fair.
She gives you a very hard look.
Good evening. I'm the green tie associate you ordered. You can call me Mr. Bell.
Kara kind of like tilts her head as you speak. All right, sure, yeah.
And my smile does not break.
Cool. All right.
Ever. It doesn't even move, really.
Okay.
It's like Stepford Wives.
So Trix and Cinnamon, you guys are at the bar.
I was going to say that when he does his little pixelating tricks, his pixelating trick, and he gets the drink and walks over, I kind of will walk over to him. And so how tall are you, Mr. Bell?
What did I put? I think I'm 6'2" or 6'1".
6'2"? Okay, so you're about
We're about the same height. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're about the same height, and I just kind of put my arm on your shoulder and be like, "Oi, that's a cool tricky there."
Good evening. I'm Mr. Bell. What can I call you?
I mean, cinnamon.
Cinnamon,
So,
a delightful spice.
It's also spicy and hot.
Heat, excellent.
So, are you AI? Are you real? Are you organic?
I'm 100% organic. You notice that in my eyes, my pupils, just the dots of my pupils, glow a little bit of yellow, just like a Blade Runner, like how their eyes kind of glow.
And I'll be like, interesting, very interesting. Then just kind of look down at them, just kind of give them a nod, kind of acknowledging that they are part of a gang, and I'm part of a gang, but not really. Just trying to look tough, but not threatening. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And Trix, you've noticed the motley crew that have been gathering around the table that you pegged earlier.
Once I notice that they're all over there, I will slowly make my way to the table. To answer your question, Trix has only been here about 8 months.
Okay.
She moved, her brother lived here, and her brother was killed, and she was screwed on a job. So she moved here to kind of like get away and try to figure out what happened to her brother.
All right, cool. So you'd probably not be familiar with the gang. Oh, by the way, Scratch, you were the one more familiar with the... No, Cinnamon. Who was it that I...
Cinnamon.
This is my first time. This is my first time meeting the both of you, and so both of you are just kind of blending in my head. I can't remember who I told what. Who was it that had more information about the gang?
That would be him. That would be
I think it's Scratch.
Yeah, Stretch.
Okay.
Oh, you're muted.
You are muted.
And now we can speak. Cinnamon knew about the gang, but Stretch knew about the Shadowrunners.
Right. So, this would actually be Cinnamon that actually knows the name of the gang. I forgot I hadn't revealed this yet. So the gang, they call themselves the Kinky Sisters. And it's not... There's no, like, fetish about it. There's no, like, actual, like, sexual kinks. They're not even all women. One of their members that you're familiar with, aside from the Shadowrunners, is a large troll man named Tiny. And he wears the same bright hot pink jacket and is one of the sisters. I wanted to get that out there. I forgot I hadn't actually introduced the name of the gang. This is a gang that I created. Kara was one of my characters. I think I randomly created it on a name generator, and I was like, no, I have to use it. So you've sorry, I completely got distracted. You've approached, right, Trix?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you take a seat? I think so far the only one that's actually taken a seat is Scratch. Mr. Bell is just sort of standing, and Cinnamon threw her arm around his shoulders.
No, I don't sit right away. I kind of stand back a little and just kind of nod and say, I think you're waiting for me.
All right. It's Kara that's doing like all of the speaking, the orc woman. All right. Yeah, you guys will do. You'll do fine. Are you you three gonna like sit, or are you like the paranoid sort that's always expecting a knife in the back?
So
Yeah.
there's something that I have to do. Not that I am trying to be aggressive, but I don't my facial expression doesn't change,
Mhm.
and that glow in my eyes can be a little unsettling. So I generally like to roll intimidate when I meet somebody for the first time. It's not that I'm trying to be aggressive. It's just the baseline of staring at me after a little while can be a little off-putting. So
A bitch.
may I?
Close that. Yeah, go for it.
What is it in fifth?
There should be an intimidation skill. I'm pretty sure I put ranks in that for you.
Sneaking, running.
Let me find a sheet.
So many things.
Yeah, he's got a lot of skills. I think I built him at like skills A. Oh my gosh, where is our chat at?
Active skills, bio blades, perception, pistols, running, sneaking. Is it like a social skill or something?
Oh, did I not give him intimidation? I could have sworn I gave him intimidation.
Composure, judge.
Let's see.
On my other character sheet.
Yeah, I thought I gave him intimidation. Go ahead and roll for intimidation. Let's call it 7 dice.
Oh, okay.
I could have sworn I put intimidation on his sheet. Oh no, he was skills B. I see. Okay.
Yeah, and for 6, I have a first impression perk also. I'm not sure that's in 50.
It is in, let me pull open Hero Lab to remember exactly how it works in 5th edition. It's been a long time since I've played. Well, no, it hasn't, but it's been a long time since I've been as intimately familiar as I once was with 5th edition.
You said 6? 6 dice?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what I said as soon as I said it, so.
1 success and 1 miss. Oh, 7?
Yeah.
Should I roll one more?
Go for it.
Hey, it doesn't matter. 1 success, 1 miss.
Okay, so the first time meeting someone, you gain a +2 dice pool modifier for relevant social tests. But related to negotiation and con, as you fit easily into no social situations, I don't think I would say it works for your unsettling.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Can succeed.
But for that, what do I want to roll to? Oh yeah, I forgot. Kara has a local fame as the leader of the Kinky Sisters. So some of you might be more familiar with them, but anyway. I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna roll her judge intentions. That feels like a good one for this. Kara eyes you up and down for a moment. And then just kind of like lifts the bottle towards you and takes another drink. All right. So what I got? There's, did I name this gang? Let me look at my notes. Oh, yes, I did. All right. So there's some hoop holes being a pain in my neck. They call themselves the Wheels of the Raven. They have been doing races in my territory. But they've also roped in some of my people. I want their races shut down.
You have a preferred method of action? Is there a limitation to the violence level?
Do not kill anyone.
Very well.
These are some of my people involved with this. I merely want the races stopped. And preferably for them to be out of my neighborhood.
I mean, no disrespect, but why do you need us to do this?
Yeah, that's a really good question that I hadn't considered as the GM.
It's your birthday.
Just pretend I didn't ask it.
Because okay, yeah, thanks, Tom. You helped me come up with the answer. It's not the exact one, but because these are my people. Because I am Big Sis and I am meant to protect them, not ruin their fun.
Understood.
She gives you like the location that the races have been happening at, because like these aren't these aren't sponsored races or anything. This is some underground like drag racing happening over here. And she gives you location, times that it typically happens, which it's probably ongoing now, given that it's like 1 a.m. So, how you do it, whatever. Just don't kill anybody. I've got 5,000 ahead.
This is going to be an interesting job for me. Yeah, I'm usually taking on corporals or gangers. This would be...
They consider themselves a gang.
Yeah, that's why it's like I'm not sure how to handle this job. So it's like, okay.
At our establishment, we call this a wake-up call, which is generally a message sent through violence. It's normally a house policy to get a 50% down payment whenever signed. If that would be okay, I can begin your service.
Every time before she responds to anything Mr. Bell says, there's just like a long look at him. All right. And she'll literally just slide a cred stick with the, because 5,000, it's just got the 10,000 because, yeah, that's half of, yeah, math. It's got half of the total payment on it. Yeah, all right.
Is there anything else we need to know about these so-called gangers?
I don't know. I mean, every other schmuck in Redmond has a gun, so I mean, you might find some resistance there. They do take bets on the races and whatnot, so they've got spectators. So probably every other schmuck in the audience will also have a gun. Or 3. But I mean, that's Redmond for you.
And how big is this gang?
I don't have exact numbers. They're barely enough to call themselves a gang, to be honest. But they're trying to rope my people in. They've got a couple of them under their sway already, racing for them or taking bets for them. So they're growing, with my people.
They could become a future threat then, right?
Yes.
I get it. I get it.
So, you can disband the gang or convince them to move elsewhere. I don't really care which, so long as they're no longer causing trouble for me.
You know who the name of the leader of the gang, or do you know anything about them?
I haven't gotten close to ask. Some elven asshole with like a green mohawk. I think he's a wannabe ancient.
So is he an actual elf or just, you know?
It could be a poser, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't met the guy. I don't even know his name. Maybe he calls himself Raven and he's that kind.
Yeah, I've seen those before. Assholes. Are we ready to do this?
So Bunny whispers something to Kara. You probably are able to catch it, but Kara does speak up, and she's like, "Oh yeah, right. So if you recover any of the vehicles, like in working condition or whatever, there will be extra pay in it for you."
Okay, cool. I don't think I really need another vehicle. Because if they're... So are they racing bikes? Are they racing cars, trucks? Like, do you know? Or is it just a mixture of everything?
She would know. We're gonna say cars. They've got like tricked out sports cars that they've been racing.
Okay. I'm not really sure I really need a car. I'm doing pretty good with my Gopher, so, you know.
I mean, it's not necessary. If you destroy the damn things, I don't care, but there'll be extra if you recover them for me.
If we happen to procure a large amount of cars, would we be able to call you in to send people to pick them up?
Yeah, I can do that.
Very well.
And she'll like give you a comm number to call when you've got it done.
Everybody's getting kneecapped.
Yeah, she did say kill. She didn't say don't injure. All right, so yeah, you guys have the location. You know they're active tonight. She wasn't very specific about it have to be done tonight, but the sooner the better.
And she also said that as long as they just leave, you don't have to kill them. Just make them leave, right?
She was very specific about don't kill them because some of these are her people.
Mm-hmm.
And she just wants them out of her territory. If her people go with, fine, that's their choice.
Not
the shit out of them. Got it.
But she wants the Wheels of Raven out.
My area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will clear the table of all the empty glass. And when I go to the bar to get empty glass, I will steal a towel and I will wipe up the table, take it back to the bar, and then leave out the front door. Have a good evening.
Like you pass the waitress as she was like coming back to the table, and you pass her with the empty glasses, and then she kind of watches you pass her, and then you come back with a towel, and she watches you clean the table, and she just kind of like, what is this? She shares a look with the bartender, and they're both like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'll kind of look down at the Go Gamer and be like, that's an odd one. Am I right? Okay, so it's not just me.
I've met some weirdos in my time, but that's another level.
He said he's organic, but I don't think he's organic. Do you?
I don't know, man, but every third Stuffer Shack worker acts kind of like that. Like they got the same smile. I'm pretty sure they're all just dead inside.
It could be that. Could be that.
Have a pleasant evening. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Right. Sure. Yeah. Bye.
I guess we're gonna end the scene right there then, right?
Yeah. So you guys have the location. There's a strip of street that's not too far away from the bar. It's not like, well, it's a there's a few city blocks that they use because you can't get any good race done in that short of a distance in these. Excuse me.
Bless you.
But you do know there's a building that they do operate out of for like where they handle their bets, where they sign up the racers, for want of a better term, and people, the spectators typically gather there to watch because they've got drones up that watch the entire length of the road.
As we're walking out, we're all close together. Good evening, all. I'm Mr. Bell. I've met you. You're Cinnamon. I look at Scratch. What's your name?
You can call me Scratch. Good to meet you, Mr. Bell.
Good to meet you. I'm Mr. Bell. I look forward to working with you. I turn to, what was it again? Trix. Hi, I'm Mr. Bell. What's your name?
Tricks.
Trix. Good to meet you. I'm not quite sure what everyone's specialty is, and at the same time, I whip out a sliver gun from the back of my jacket, and I literally twirl a combat knife out with serrated at the bottom of the blade. It's a pretty long dagger. This is my specialty, so if I can do anything to help you, just let me know, okay? And I flip them both back into the back of my behind my coat.
Yeah, I guess I would just kind of bring up my hand and I just make a snap. Then my fingers are on fire and be like, I just burn things. That's all. And then just put out the flame.
Neat trick.
I'm good with computers.
Decker, excellent. You'll be valued.
Question. I'm just curious as to how Trix is reacting to Mr. Bell. Have you been looking for like matrix signals from him to figure out to answer the question, is he organic or not?
You know, I haven't, but I
Okay.
can.
I'm just wondering if Trix was that type. Trying to figure out if he's a drone or not.
At this point, she's just kind of thinking that he's just eccentric.
Fair.
Yeah, that was one thing I was just thinking. It's like I could have astrally perceived, but like it doesn't really matter. It's just like he's just a weird person. If it turns out that he's actually an AI pretending to be organic, I don't care.
So far,
Alright.
y'all are the opposite of my regular team. Like, what the fuck are you?
That comes with a one shot because they don't have to spend a lot of time around you. It's just this one job, and then hopefully never again, and it's out of my business. None of my business anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, what's the plan?
I confess, I don't have a regular source of transportation. Could anybody provide me with a ride?
You can hang out with me.
What are you driving?
I can just kind of point out to the parking lot and be like, see that gopher right there? That's mine.
Gopher doesn't sound big. Is that a big car?
It's like a basic pickup truck.
Oh. Okay.
Like nothing fancy.
Yeah, it's a 3-seat, so it's got the one bench seat, and then it's just bed.
Very well.
I can carry around a lot of stuff and like 2 people, or if people want to hop in the back, we can do that too.
I'll just take my bike. But thank you.
And I will follow you in my van.
Okay.
Stuck in a vehicle with Mr. Bell.
Thank you for your hospitality.
So I'm thinking probably the best way to do it is just go to their headquarters, whatever they're using as a base of operations, and just talk to them. I mean, if that don't work, then we just do other things,
I mean, she said that they're out there racing probably right now. So I mean, we could go scope out the place, see what we see.
These are all great ideas. Good job, team.
Right.
Mr. Bell, what is your idea? What should we do?
I think operating to the maximum would be best in our best interest. I have in mind to send a message to them, possibly violently, but I also wish to procure some cars.
Yeah, that's why I was like, if we can just talk to them and just tell them, hey, move, go, don't be here, vamoose. See how they respond to that. If not, then we get a little more forceful.
That's a wonderful idea.
So basically, Cinnamon talks to them, and if that doesn't work, then the bell will toll for them.
I
Great
like that
joke.
idea.
All right, so you guys are heading to where they've got their what would that be? Their booth. It's like let me start that again. It's an old rundown stuffer shack that they like use as their it's where they take their bets. They've got one of their guys you can tell who's actually one of the Wheels of Ravens. They're all wearing like just black leather jackets, just your standard armored jacket, but they've got a patch on the back that is a bright neon green raven.
They're still eating the old burritos. They're still good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those keep forever. They're like Twinkies. They're shelf stable for like 50 years. And so they've got the old what would you call that? The roof that covers like the pumps are no longer there. There's no longer any pumps, but they've still got the overhang or whatever, the roof.
I think it's an awning. Is it an
Awning, yeah.
awning?
Yeah. And they've got trid projectors set up, and they've got like flying eyes in the sky that have the entirety of the strip that they race covered.
This is us actually scoping it out right now.
Yeah, and as you guys get closer, you can hear that they have definitely started for the night. They are definitely currently racing.
Are there pink and black jackets alike, or just the black jackets? Are the what's your gang again?
The Kinky Sisters.
Yeah, are they like in their colors, or are they blending in?
You don't see any of the pink jackets. And Cinnamon would know this, probably, given the type of gang that the sisters are. By her people, she could have just been referring to anybody in the neighborhood. They don't necessarily, not necessarily a member of the gang. But yeah, so do you guys, because you guys can see the old stuffer shack and the people, and you can see a lot like out back of the stuffer shack, where like they would receive deliveries, so it's not like a parking lot where people would park their cars in the day, but there is a lot back there where they've got a few cars that are not currently racing parked.
May I ask a question?
Mhm.
And I apologize if this is a dumb question. I genuinely do not know a lot about cars. Would these cars have some kind of an internal computer that I could hack to
Oh,
get them
yes.
to not drive?
Every car does in the Sixth World, except for those that have specifically taken them out. Like they come standard in vehicles, and if you want to upgrade your rig to that level, you have that computer.
Okay. To know.
Unless you're a rigger and really know what you're doing. So yes.
Well, that's kind of my idea. I kind of just want to sit somewhere and like start hacking vehicles so that they can't race.
I think that's a good idea.
But I mean, if you wanted to try to talk to them first,
I mean that's a good something to go with. But I wanted to see the attitude, because it's kind of obvious that if we tell them, hey, you shouldn't y'all shouldn't be here. This is somebody else's territory. That they'll probably be like, yeah, whatever, and just blow us off. But I do want to give them that opportunity to leave and see and kind of measure their reaction to being told, hey, this is somebody else's territory.
I don't want to go with them to do that necessarily. I want to have line of sight, but I want to be far enough away that they don't necessarily know that I'm with them. That way, if I do have to start hacking, they don't immediately see that it's me.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy enough. So who all is going to approach?
What you want to do, Scratch?
I'm approaching, and Mr. Bell's approaching.
Well,
Right?
what depends on what Scratch is doing.
I will kind of fire up all of my drones, or most of my drones. I'll leave a flying eye with tricks, and then I'll look at the two gentlemen, or the one gentleman in a suit and the tall lady, and say, "Well, shall we?"
You're gonna go.
I'll go. I'm not a talker, but I'll go.
So, as I get up out of the truck, you see me like kind of stretch and like start cracking my neck. And there's a noticeable change in my posture and my voice. And well, if the two of you are going up to do some talking, I think I can watch you from back here. And I slowly start to disappear again. I have a rifle, an Ares Desert arms in a holster in my back, and it also has stealth on the holster. And I start to disappear, and I'll just kind of stay. I kind of want to circle around where those cars are. I might just call somebody in to start taking them now.
Okay.
But I am gonna watch.
All right, so you start circling around to the cars, and Trix, are you staying where you can see the guys, Scratch and Cinnamon as they approach, or do you want eyes on where the other cars are parked?
Ideally, I would like both, but if I can't, I would like line of sight on them. That way, they can like give me a nod if I need to start.
So another thing you could do, especially as the decker, is you could create a pan between the four of you, that a personal network basically that would connect like either your micro transceivers, if you have them, your comms, so that you can communicate that way.
Yeah.
And if Scratch gives you the access to one of his drones, maybe one of the flying eyes, to keep eyes where they're at as well. To be able to see that, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I could do that.
I will launch the fly spy and give Drix access, and also to a few of my flying eyes,
Thank you.
even the one watching you.
Oh, that's weird. Watching me watch myself.
And looking over your own shoulder. Like a third-person video game. All right. So we've got just about an hour left. So if anybody's watching that is not one of my players, don't forget to put hashtag RemPC in the chat to be entered for a chance to win. Right, a set of the oh goodness, what were they called? The fire props from
Geek Forge.
Geek Forge. Thank you. They're really cool. Yeah, they're really cool. They do props for words. Cosplay, thank you.
No worries. I feel like we've been up this whole time with each other, so we kind of got to help each other out.
I did get like about 2 hours of sleep. I'm glad for that. I'm not sure if I would be functioning without that right now. But yeah, so if you put hashtag RemPC in the chat or donate to our GoFundMe, or 100 bits also gets you 1 entry. And any of my players, if you guys want those as well, go ahead, feel free. The players all night have been dropping them in the chat. The first, I think the first giveaway, the GM won that one. So feel free to enter. All right, so we've got Cinnamon and Scratch entering to speak with them. The proprietor, for lack of a better term. Trix is watching over, got eyes on the cars. I threw the flying eyes with Scratch and Cinnamon, and communication between all 4 of you, and Mr. Bell has sort of faded into the background as far as everyone is aware.
Yeah, I was gonna say that when I got out of the truck, I kind of put on it's called a gas mask, but it looks kind of like a motorcycle helmet, so that it kind of hides my face.
Right.
Let's see, what all did I put into it? It does have flare compensation, image link, respirator, and I do have my comms inside that thing so that I can keep in touch with the rest of the group.
Mm. All right. Who wants to go first? Well, I guess let's go with the 2 going inside first.
Yes.
Because I think everything is going to hinge on
how that goes,
what happens there. Yeah. So you guys approach the old stuffer shack. Nobody stops you. I mean, there are people, they take note of you. There's the people watching the race that's currently ongoing. Some of them aren't actually watching the tread projectors, but they probably have it in their own AR feed or whatnot, because they're all there's chatter coming from basically everybody currently watching the race about. They're cheering for they sports things.
Yeah.
I don't do the sports things, even the I don't do that. But the chatter, they've got a couple of the ones that you notice as the wheels
Can we
of
get
Raven.
that clipped, please? That was pretty great.
Yeah, you can't even fake it now, can you?
I can't. I don't know that I can on a good day. I don't do the sports things.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not urban brawl though. This is just plain old street racing. I should have made it an urban brawl though. That would have been great.
Next time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
next stream.
just kind of get to the outside of the crowd. You know how you get to the first people. I just kind of tap the person on the shoulder. Hey, oi, who's in charge?
What? What?
Who's in charge?
Go talk to the guy inside if you want to bet. I don't go. He's like focused, laser focused on the trid screen, not even like looking at you, just waving you off.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. So it is there like a place that kind of looks obvious, like a betting area where you can?
Yeah, if you go into the stuffer shack, and it's not hard because it looks like back in the day, maybe the windows were blown out or something, and nobody really bothered to do anything about that except like remove the rest of the glass. So it's basically like an open storefront now. There is the old counter is still there. If there ever was a crash register, it electronic or otherwise, it is no longer there. The counter has been like completely cleared of anything that looks like the stuffer shack stuff. It's excuse me. It now holds. There's a couple paper notebooks and shit and pens, but he's also got a data pad. I feel like that's the wrong genre, but the all my brain is coming up with right now.
Yeah, I can't remember
and
what
it's
they call it in Sixth World now.
I can't remember. Yeah, everybody knows what I mean when I say data pad. And the guy that's seated on like he's got a high stool that's back there. So like bar stool height basically, which puts his knees about even with the counter. He's an elven guy with a bright green mohawk and one of the Wheels of Raven's jackets.
I just kind of walk up to him and be like, "Oi, who's in charge of?"
Yeah, that's me. What do you want? Are you betting on the next race, or it's too late to bet on this one? Joey's got it in the bag anyway.
Not really betting. More like good advice. Let's put it that way. I'm here from a friend. She says y'all have to move on. Can't be in this area anymore. So, like y'all can move on to another place and you do your racing somewhere else, but y'all can't be here anymore. Okay? Thanks, man.
He finally he lets you get all the way through that, and then he finally like looks up from whatever he was doing on that data pad, and he just kind of like looks at you a little bit closer. I don't need your advice, thanks.
Didn't think you'd take it. Just thought I'd give you the warning, you know?
That sounded like denial.
Let me think. I think we'll just kind of, I'll kind of look back at Stretch and see if he wants to do anything right here.
I just give you a little bit of a negative shake, and I look around at trying to assess the tactical situation. What's the weaponry like? Are there any people with, bodyguard kind of feel to them, that kind of thing?
Make me a perception roll, and anybody else who's looking for that as well. Trix, you can make a perception roll through the eyes of the drone that Scratch has with them. So anybody who's looking at the crowd to gauge the situation, go ahead and roll perception.
So when it says visual, I add that to the dice, right?
You add +2, yes. That's your specialization. I think you may even have additional. Did I put anything in like a set of glasses or anything for you? I did not. Okay.
So what do I roll for
Holy
that?
shit, Scratch. It should be if you have the perception skill,
I don't have perception skill.
then it would be intuition -1
Okay.
because you are defaulting.
Perception.
Is this
Ooh.
where mental limits kick in?
Yes.
Let's see. How do I
So how does edge work in 5e?
You can spend you spend 1 point of edge and you can reroll all your failures.
I'd like to do that.
Okay.
What's the number?
Can I do that too?
Yeah, go for it.
Is that just the ones, or is that everything that's not a 5 or a 6?
Everything that's not a 5 or a 6.
I got 1 success.
I hope I did this right. Okay.
3. That's fine.
All right. So, Scratch, what's your mental limit?
6.
All right. So, Scratch, you got 5 hits. Mr. Bell has 3. Cinnamon, I'm assuming you can keep all 4 of those hits.
Yeah.
And Trick's got 1. So, Scratch and Cinnamon. You got it's easy to spot the gangers, because they're all wearing the similar jackets. None of them are like too heavily armed. They've all got firearms of some sort or another. Some of them have pistols. There's a couple with assault rifles, like an AK-47 or 2. Nothing, no big hardware really, and I mean they're gangers. There's nothing special about the gang. But the 2 of you notice. Oh, which ones did I throw in here? In the crowd of people, you spot there's an elven woman that you notice that kind of, she doesn't stand out because she does look like she's probably from Redmond or Baron's Rat of some variety or another. But the way she holds herself, you're pretty sure she may be a runner. She's got that she moves like a street samurai.
Right.
And not necessarily built for strength, but she's built for speed. Sure, she moves with that. I can't remember what. Anyway, but you notice her. And another one that stands out. All of you would notice this one because she stands out a lot. Because there's another woman in the crowd. She looks human, except for the fact that she has 4 arms, and her skin is gold.
Oh,
Fancy.
subtle.
She doesn't really have a choice, you know. These are not. You think that, and then you look close. They're not augmentations. Like, those are her real. That's what she looks like.
Okay.
So everybody notices that one. I don't know that the other 2 would really stand out. Okay. But yeah, you have recognized that there are at least 1 Shadowrunner present. You're not sure the woman in gold. Oh, no, she may be a runner too.
Okay, one thing I would like to do is like to a sense and see, how many spell slingers are in this crowd, or if there's
Okay.
any magic-y people.
You would have, I think there would be a background count of about 2 here,
Okay.
given Redmond and then just the air around the people, the emotional.
Oh, you'd probably be able to see
so-
that I'm adept as well.
So where are you physically right now, Mr. Bell?
So you said it's like a busted open stuffer shack, right?
Yeah, the building's the busted open stuffer shack. They've got the tread projectors out under the old overhang.
And then where are the unmanned parked cars? Like behind that?
They're behind the stuffer shack. And they're not unattended. There are other members of the Ravens back there, the Wheels of Raven.
Okay.
They do have people watching over the cars.
So I'm probably within eye direction. Is that a thing?
Line of sight.
Line of sight. That's the one. I'm probably within line of sight of Scratch and Cinnamon.
Okay.
But also with like peripheral view on whatever I can see of the back of the building. From where I am, I say into comms. Now, it's not normally my style to try to reason, but let's face it, bottom line, I'm here to make money. So maybe we could give one more warning. Do you think we can pick out some of the what is it? The Kinky Sisters?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think maybe we could pick out some of the Kinky Sisters in the crowd? Maybe if we warn them, we can get a group exit going.
Yeah, I did have an idea of kind of addressing the crowd, but I just wanted to do an assessing first and see what I'm looking at.
You mean you want to draw mass attention to yourself, or maybe
Yes.
maybe better idea to keep a lower profile? I mean, I'm all for it. I love to shoot.
Well, it wouldn't really be.
So you could do the sensing without drawing attention to yourself. Unless there's like spirits actively watching you, in which case that would immediately paint yourself as a mage.
Yeah.
If they hadn't already sensed you.
Yeah. So a sensing with a background of 2. How's that work again?
It would just be a -2 to your dice pool.
Okay. So since it's a -2, wrong one. Okay. Let's see. So it would be. See, so the number would be -2. That'd be. Wheels.
Good morning, Sarah.
With 1 hit. Oh, I need to pull up my sensing table probably. Because 1 hit doesn't give you a lot of information.
Yeah.
You get the general sense of the background here. Obviously, you get that. You feel you can taste the excitement in the air, the energy running through this crowd that's causing the background count. In part, where's my sensing table? Shadowrun books. I don't even know if that gets you if they're awakened or not.
Yeah, with the 1, I'm not sure if that kind of does anything.
Sensing
general, right?
Sensing 312.
1. The general state of the subject's health, the subject's general emotion state or impression, whether the subject is mundane or awakened.
Okay, so it does get you whether or not they are. Okay, it just doesn't tell you they're okay. So yeah, I mean, the emotional state of the crowd is real easy to pick up on. There are a few there's a few disappointed people. There's some disappointed people in the crowd. But overall there's the anticipation and everything that you expect of places like this. There are a few awakened people in the crowd. You do notice that Mr. Bell is awakened. You hadn't realized he was standing right there, maybe because of his ruthenium polymer coating. But he is awakened. So that answers the question. He is definitely biologic. But there's also a couple individuals in the crowd that are also awakened. The four-armed woman is awakened. And there is
pretty good guess right there.
There is another you notice another awakened individual. You didn't pick her out at first. She's just kind of like a small Japanese woman. She didn't really stand out at all. But she is definitely awakened as you look at her.
A person is awakened, does that mean they know that they can do magic, or they just have the ability and they just don't know it? I kind of refresh my memory on what it means to be awakened.
It means they have a magic rating. Given because of just the single hit, you just know that they are awakened. You don't know how powerful they are, or I mean, I guess technically somebody could be awakened and not be aware of it if they were like just a physical adept and none of their powers were conscious. They were just the always on type that don't need to be activated or anything. They might be able to be awakened and not conscious of that fact.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Also, is like, okay. Well, I guess in that case, let me think. How do I want to do it, from the back or from the front? I think I would just, huh?
Nothing. Giggity.
I think I'll go to the front, like just kind of make my way to the front of the crowd, and just kind of with my hands just kind of do a wave and just kind of have flames come out from my palms to kind of get everybody's attention. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a big "hey, look at me" type moment, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm just as loud as I can get among the crowd. I'll just kind of let everybody know. Just so y'all know, you're not supposed to be here. Y'all need to leave. Please leave. Thank you very much.
The old parents home from vacation method.
So a couple, nobody in the crowd really pays you much mind. I mean, you got the fire show, and then they look at you for a moment and determine you're not knight errant and go back to watching the race.
Yeah, lock the cars down.
And a couple of the gangers, the Wheels of Raven, are making their way in your direction with. They're not pointing their weapons at you yet.
Yeah.
I kind of look at Cinnamon with the expression of, well, what did you expect?
Trick.
I just like Mr. Bell was saying, give him a second chance,
I also said keep a low profile.
Give everybody that way. Yeah, just so that we can go back and say, hey, we gave them a chance. Okay, if something goes wrong, we gave them a chance.
So Trix, what have you been doing back there as you're kind of watching all of this happen?
Just waiting.
So during this time, you've had enough time that you've kind of you've picked through the matrix icons in the area. You've figured out which ones are the vehicles that are back here. There's, we'll say, half a dozen vehicles back here. So you figured out which icon is which so that you can target specific vehicles that you intend to. You've got even the two that are like currently racing. You've picked out which ones those two are. You found a number of like comm links in the crowd, and you're pretty sure that icon there is the elf in charge is his personal unit, his personal his data pad or whatever he's using. Pretty sure that's probably his. So you've got a good handle on what is what in the matrix around here.
Okay. Well, my first thought is that I bet the gold woman gives really good hugs. My second thought is as soon as I see that his second attempt didn't work, I'm gonna go ahead and start shutting cars down.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna we have like half an hour left, so we're gonna roll a lot into single dice rolls here.
Okay.
I forgot how long it can take to actually get to the run part of a run. I'm remembering why my when I ran one shots fairly often, 4 hours was my minimum time spot that I would do. But okay, let's go with this. How many dice do each of you add for your initiative? So not the flat number, just how many d6s are added, and we'll kind of use that for who acts first.
I think.
Okay, so mine says initiative T 10 plus 1d6. Got what that means now.
Okay. It's your initiative is 10 plus the 1d6. You would roll 1d6 and add that to the flat number of 10.
Oh, okay.
Same for me.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I'm the fastest. 3d6.
I don't know if this is good or not, but mine's 7. Wait,
And
no.
not the flat number, the one in front of the d6. So it'll be like 7 plus I didn't look too closely at your sheet to
Mine's
remember
7
anything.
plus 1d6.
1d6. So are you doing this just in so you got multiple methods of doing this as a decker. You can do this in AR, which is your would be your normal physical speed. Yeah. Or you could drop into full virtual reality. And oh god, does that give you plus 2d6? Shit. I play a decker in another game. Why am I not remembering this?
Because it's really
Get a monster.
whichever way is going to get me through it in the time that we have left.
Cold sim should be 3d6. Hot sim should be 4d6.
Okay.
Go cold sim.
So yeah, you could go cold sim, which means any feedback you get is stun damage, is not lethal. If you go into full hot sim virtual reality, you would be able to take that physical. It would fry your brain physically. any feedback that you took from anybody actively defending against what you're doing.
Let's do the other way then.
Okay, so you and Mr. Bell are both at 3d6. Cinnamon Scratch are both at 1. That makes this easy. Let me double check what we've got here. She's at 2. Pretty sure she's at 1 because she awaken. Where the? But she would also be at 3 because. I'm in the wrong folder. Fuck it. You know what? I don't even know where her sheet is at the moment. Okay, anyway. You guys, Mr. Bell and Trix. Trix, let's go with you first. Just roll me hacking plus intuition.
Okay. Sorry, numbers are hard all of a sudden. Really?
That's fine.
I got two.
All right, and I'm going to defend using. Oh, nope. Apologies. I had an errant. There we go.
That's a much nicer number.
It seems like the firewall that's protecting these cars is doing its job pretty well. It's rebuffing your attempts to hack them at the moment. Mr. Bell.
Perceive astral.
Mm.
Just so I know who the magic people are.
Yeah, go ahead and what did I say your sensing was earlier? 7 dice?
Yeah.
8? No, 8 for sensing, I think it was. 7 was the sneak
intimidation,
I think.
I think it was opposite. I think it was 7
or 8, pick one.
I don't remember. Yeah. I'm gonna pick 7. I don't like being OP. Sorry.
Oh god, let me grab that.
Whoa.
Let me eat that bot real quick. There we go. All right, what we
What was
get?
it offering?
1 success. All right. You notice the same thing that Cinnamon did earlier. You do pick out the four-armed woman is awakened. The Asian woman, Japanese woman is awakened.
And then I'll start making my way towards the guy who's in charge. Get close to him, and I will wait for chaos to to break out.
Okay. So somebody from the crowd is going to yell at Cinnamon.
Boo! No.
Probably something like that.
Actually, it's gonna be one of the gangers that is currently approaching you. Look, lady, you need to be gone. There's one of you. You're killing everybody's fun out here. Just be on your way.
Drop names. Did you hear in comms?
What was that?
You hear me say, drop a name?
I've been trying not to out of game. I've been trying not to drop names. Trying to keep.
She didn't say not to, though, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, I'll just kind of look at the runners and just be like, look, I'm not saying you can't have some fun anywhere else. Just saying you can't do it here. That's all. I mean, if you go somewhere else, I'll probably even take part in this. It's just that right here, you just can't do it. That's all.
Be on your way, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then yeah, it'll be Cinnamon and Scratch. You haven't gone actively aggro yet, so nobody in the crowd is actively responding to you, just the gangers at this point.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of looking at my spell list of what can I do without causing any harm or without killing people, because like a lot of my spells are meant to kill people, like not.
Just aim for like a black and blue to rare instead of like a well done or a medium.
That's what I'm like, yeah. I think I'll probably just do gravity well and just be like, hopefully that does something. Because I just, let's see, how does this work now? If penalty is greater than
I need to remember how gravity well works.
Too strong and they're unable to move.
Hopefully it works well.
Okay, yeah, we'll just go ahead and do that.
That's what we're here, folks. We're here for the jokes.
Okay, so let's see. How am I going to spell casting guide pool? It's 7. Line of sight, sustained.
Oh, Sarah's in the audience now.
Yes. Yes, she is.
Awesome.
So it's been a while since I actually cast a spell, so how would I do that?
Your casting would be
something plus magic, right?
magic plus shit, what is it? Spellcasting plus magic.
Okay, spellcasting. Where is spellcasting? Okay. So 7 plus 6, is that right?
And what force are you casting at?
Oh, good question. Good.
Because the trade value is force plus 3, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, we'll just keep it at a 3.
And where are you focusing, centering the spell at? Because that the force also would dictate the area of effect, which I believe would be what, a 3-meter radius, I think. Pretty sure that's how that works.
I have to be careful with radius because I almost got myself killed one time. So yeah, long story. I think I told y'all that in the pre-chat, right? The story of don't worry about it.
Maybe. We got 20 minutes. I want to give everybody a chance to do something awesome.
So I
behind him.
Put it so that the very edge is kind of hitting the gangers or the runners right in front of me, but not hitting me. If that makes sense.
Okay, you can so you've pinged 2 that are probably runners. The gold woman with 4 arms who you have seen as awakened, and there's an elven woman that you're pretty sure is also a runner.
Oh, okay. So they haven't approached me, right?
They have not. You
okay,
have not gone actively aggro yet. You're just doing a spark show and trying to intimidate people. They don't give a shit.
Okay. So I guess we will do it like right in the center of the crowd to try and get the majority of the crowd.
Okay.
And see if I can get like the 2 runners.
Okay.
Like that's like I'm trying to get the 2 runners in it, and then anybody else that's in that.
Okay. Yeah, I think you could get them both, sure.
Okay, so that will be number is Okay, cool. And then my limits.
Limit is the force of the spell.
Sorry, what was that?
Your limit's the force of the spell.
Ah, okay.
So you got 3 hits on a force 3 gravity well.
Mm-hmm. So that means every net hit results in a dice pool modifier -1 to all actions connected to physical attributes the target takes, including initiative.
Okay,
roll.
so physical manipulation spells are, I believe, resisted with body plus willpower.
Yes.
So I'm going to roll for the runners.
Strength plus body.
Oh, strength plus body.
And that's
yeah,
that's what it says here.
Yeah, that makes
Threshold
sense.
and prices.
Not willpower. That yeah, duh.
It says, but they can only make this test after being held motionless for a combat turn. Even if they
No, they still make it to resisted initially. I don't
Okay.
think that spell changes it.
Yeah, I was just like, well, that's kind of weird, but okay.
But you can make a test. So if you fail the first test, you can make a second test to break free after the first round.
Okay.
Is how I understand that.
Yeah, I said I'm just reading from what it says right here, so.
Yeah. So she is at a -1. Who was the other one that I put there? Right. Where's her sheet at? You would think I would have these ready. Where the There's your PDF. Thank you. Body and same dice pool.
Oh, that's
Okay. So the 2 runners are not immobilized. They're annoyed. You do notice that, but I'm just gonna say the regular people in the crowd, they're completely completely immobilized. So you've incapacitated a third of the crowd, but none of the runners.
Yeah. I kind of figured that it was kind of like a, okay, I'm going to do a little magic stuff. Now go away.
Scratch.
I'm trying not to be violent here.
What are you doing?
I will send some commands to my drones. So 3 crawlers, I will say shoot into the crowd, and the lynx I'll say shoot over the crowd with the MMG.
Okay.
The 3 crawlers have silenced HKs with gel bullets.
Okay.
And the MMG is just loud live ammo, so it's just going over the crowd to say hello.
Go ahead and roll. Roll once for the crawlers and then the HMG separately. Just to keep things moving quickly. Because we got like 15 minutes left.
One quick question: is the crowd like? Can they not move, or are they pushed into the ground?
The people in the area of effect that you did, they are not pushed to the ground, but they are unable to move.
Okay.
It doesn't like slam them into the ground, but it does more or less glue their feet in place as their body becomes too heavy to move.
2 successes for both.
All right. Yeah, sure. That's enough. Obviously the HMG has no problem. You're not firing at to hit anything. Burst of gunfire goes off, and the people on the outer edge of the crowd, on that side, begin. There are cries of pain. And some of them have decided that yeah, this is too much trouble. I'm just gonna call my losses here. And the crowd begins thinning. This is no longer fun. Those are bruises and possibly broken bones. And so we're back at the top. Let's see. Trix, you have Trix and Mr. Bell. Who wants to go first?
I do.
I was saying, I don't think he's gone yet.
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was waiting for things to pop off.
Yeah. So I get up to the guy who's the leader, and I want to do that thing where I tap you on the shoulder that I'm opposite of, and not a gel round. I want to shoot him in the kneecap on the opposite side.
All right. So he started to move, like he's heard the commotion out in the crowd, and he's gotten up from his seat, and he's reaching for let's just say a shotgun that he had behind the counter in arm's reach. So he's picking that up as you approach behind him, tap him on the shoulder, and he wheels around in that direction. Go ahead and roll to shoot.
I will use my sliver gun. What should I roll for that?
Where is... I need to reopen Mr. Bell's sheet. That would be for your sliver gun, 12d6.
Okay. And then do I get a +1 for close quarter firearm? Or is that already factored in? Because I have gun kata.
Reduce the... yes. It would be a +1. In 5th edition, it would be +1.
Cool. Roll.
So 13.
Yeah, 13. 6. 1. Nice.
Jesus. So let's see. The sliver gun is the one that can... Is that the one that only fires flechette?
Flechette, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so flechette. Okay, so 6 net hits because he was caught unawares. Plus the... What is the base damage on that? Oh, Jesus, is that base 9?
Not in 6th edition, but yep.
15, yeah. 6th edition has much lower numbers, I think. So 15 damage, soaked with... He's got an armored jacket. Probably, we'll say a body of 3. And +4 armor, though, because flechette. So he's soaking 15 damage with 19 dice.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah. So... You nearly kill this guy with a shot to the knee. But we're gonna say, because it was a shot to the knee, so you shoot him in the knee. He doesn't, like, get a chance to dodge. He did not see you or sense you behind him at all. So you take him out at the knee. He screams out in pain, And then when he like looks down at his knee and sees the shattered bloody mess that it is and passes out.
Aw. Damn it. Well, I catch him tenderly.
Yeah.
As he...
Okay.
Well,
and you do.
Well, that was unforeseen.
And there are a couple of the other gangers make their way in from one from the front, and then one was at like a back entrance and is coming through the back to investigate as well.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess I'm can't. An intimidation roll would be like an action, yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, really? So
we're rolling a lot of this all into the same moment because we have
Okay.
10 minutes left.
Well, I catch him ever so gently, like like I'm carrying my wife over the threshold. but I look up at anybody who's approaching, and my eyes are intensely wide, like anime wide-eyed, like tiny pupils stare, and I'd like to intimidate anybody who saw that happen.
Yeah, go for it.
If I could, yeah.
And go ahead and take like 4 bonus dice as you are holding the unconscious form of their leader.
Yeah. And along with it, I'll say, "Hello, I'm Mr. Bell. As you could tell, I'm the unreasonable one."
So go ahead and roll, I think that makes it 12 dice with the +4.
Okay.
Because this is especially terrifying.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
I like Roll20 tonight.
It understands we're short on time. So you deliver that line to the guy that's coming in from the front, and it's honestly pretty surprising that he doesn't piss himself, because his face entirely drains of color, and you see him like frantically shaking his head at the guy coming in from the back, like, no. and he puts up his hands, like, he had a gun on a sling that he was holding, and he just lets it go. All right, all right, okay, you're with her out, okay, and then he's gonna like slowly pull out his comm link, and he gets on and he's like, "Tell everybody to get the frag out." And it'll take a moment for that to disperse, so Trix, make another hacking plus intuition roll. I'm assuming you're continuing to try and get these vehicles out here.
Well, I was actually going to just say, since I'm seeing people flee, I was just going to call our contact and be like, "It's Trix. You can send people to pick up the cars now."
Yeah. This has been like, what, 20 minutes since she sent you out here? Because it took like maybe 10 minutes to get there, 5 minutes to figure out the plan, who was going where, and then you spoke to the guy, got you nowhere. And yeah, it's been about 20 minutes. So Kara answers, and she doesn't even say anything, and you're just like, "Yeah, send people," and she's like, Does
that mean we get a time bonus?
Yeah, Wonderful. I can arrange that.
I look forward to working with
how
you in the
many
future.
How many cars?
All of them? Are all of them good?
All right. I will send people out to get them.
Thank you.
And yeah,
we're getting a bonus for time. She's sending drivers.
And so some people do attempt to head to the back because like these are their cars, but like the Mr. Bell, for one, is able to let's say keep them at from even thinking about coming any closer. And like as the word passes through the crowd, that, well, A, people were being shot over here, B, boss might be dead, and some freak it's responsible, and it's just everybody scatters. The Shadowrunners that you had noticed in the crowd, they think you see them considering, because obviously they had money on these races, but all of the except the two that were still on the strip have also fled, so they don't scatter like everybody else does. They don't hassle you. The gold woman, she's a Nartaki, a special brand of changeling. Glares at Cinnamon before turning and stalking away, like, fine, whatever.
I guess you should get one of these.
No, she's not taking it personally. I mean, she recognizes another runner team when there is one, and, like, whatever, man. I'll take my money out of the gang's hide later. Get her money back. The other woman, the elf that you had pegged as a runner, and moves kind of like Mr. Bell does, in that really let's say dangerous manner. that they're obviously a very someone not to be fucked with. She doesn't even look at you, Cinnamon, after your whole display. However, she does walk inside the building, and most everybody is scattered by now. But she does walk inside the building, and she goes behind the counter, steps over the elf's body, still unconscious on the ground, and she finds he had been keeping I mean, it's like a lockbox for those that didn't transfer funds electronically, so he's got a few cred sticks in there, even some corpse script, and she takes her money back.
She came into the room.
Yes.
Can I get the same sense from her? Like,
oh yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna offer her a business card. I literally have cardstock, old school business cards with a comm code on it for the Green Mansion, and I just hold it out like this and smile.
She'll take it. She's like, whatever, man.
And then I salute her with my pistol.
Yeah, she doesn't like even like speak to you at all.
Fine, I won't talk either.
Yeah, but she takes it and takes her money back, and whatever, she's out of here. The mage that you had, the other awakened individual that you had, and I actually forgot this version of that character was awakened, so the elf that you had pinged was also awakened. I was thinking of a different version of a similar character. I found her sheet. But the other awakened individual that you had pinged is probably, I don't know. She was a small Japanese woman, maybe dangerous, maybe not. She was awakened. You're not sure how powerful. She didn't stick around. And Trix, are you still like keeping an eye in the Matrix? Because you can make sure that, the two vehicles that were on the strip, they take off. Like, they don't even make the turn to come. They just take off. They get the message from one of the gangers, and then like, nope, I'm dipping. So those two take off, and so are you watching to make sure like nobody else tries to hack these? Or you do notice some movement on the Matrix. Nobody's trying to touch the cars, but you notice his personal device that he was using. Somebody is messing with that. And if you look closer, this probably isn't really technically the way the Matrix works in Shadowrun, but fuck it. You can see the Nuyen flowing away from it to whomever is hacking it. Because they're also taking their money back. There was another Decker in the crowd.
You know what? That I would have done the same thing.
So yeah, run successful. Nobody died. There was a broken leg and some bruises and maybe broken bones from those on the outside of the crowd. But I mean, gel rounds are less than lethal for a reason. Nobody died. I'm assuming you let up your gravity well, Cinnamon, as soon as... Because otherwise they're stuck there like shit. As soon as that pressure lets up, they... a few of them kind of stagger for a moment as, like, their weight returns to normal, but they quickly scatter.
And I have medkit parts, so I will improvise a medkit, like, as like, crude as possible to, like, stop the bleeding on his leg.
Yeah, just... and I'm gonna handwave this. We're really, really at the end. You're able to stop the bleeding, and stabilize them. And do you let, like, any of the other gangers, one or two of them are brave enough and stick around to try and make sure he's not dead? And they'll, if you let them close enough, that is, and they would attempt to take him, like, with them if he's alive, and they'll, like, drag him to a street dock or something.
We don't get anything for giving him up, right?
There was nothing mentioned, no.
Do you think that she would be appreciative? No, I'm a contract guy, so I'll let them take it. That wasn't in the contract, so I'll let them take him.
Okay, yeah, so there's two of them, and they both take him by the arm, but their eyes do not leave you, like, as they're slowly pulling him backwards, and then they throw his arms over their shoulders, and then they just kind of get the fuck out.
Let him know, in the future, it would be best to take the warning first.
One of them just kind of, like, raises a hand as they're leaving, like, acknowledging what you said.
And then my smile snaps back on my face. I revert back to my professional personality. And have a good evening, is what I say as they leave.
And shortly thereafter, a half a dozen bikes show up. They're not quite as years out as the ones that you noticed in the parking lot that belong to Kara and Bunny, but most of them are some shade of pink. Both of them, or all of them, have they've doubled up on the bikes so that one of them will each take one of the cars. And a large troll man in a hot pink jacket will approach you. Mr. Bell, you would have been the one that she pointed out to look for, because most noticeable. And so Big Sis told me you're the one to pay, and he'll give you the cred stick with a cred stick with the other 10,000, and then there's an additional 12,000 for the vehicles.
Wow.
And the bonus for time, let's toss another grand on there. So it's a total of math. So all told for this run, let's see, 20, 30, a total of 33,000 for this run. And that's all together, not individually. But
Sweet. Thank you very
job well
much.
done.
It's been a pleasure serving you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, she mentioned that. Did we have any entries for the giveaway, Tom?
So we got a last minute one.
If he's still here. Oh, we do have Derica. Yes, Mr. Bell and no one died. However, that was a stipulation of the job, was don't kill anyone.
Yeah, I have to say, when you said no killing, that took out like 90% of what I do.
Mm.
So it's just a good thing I had gravity well, because otherwise I'd be like, okay, you're dead. I don't know what else to do.
You just have to be creative with your use of the spells.
Yeah.
Just because they're lethal spells doesn't mean you have to center them on a person.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Unless they're mana-based.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
did
it looks
great.
like we've had a few entries in the giveaway. Tom, if you are listening.
Did we put him to sleep?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe he's drooling over his keyboard.
I'm not sure.
Earth to Captain Tom.
I don't. Tom.
Well, so the next part of a campaign. What happens next?
So, well, coming up next is actually a God, what is next? Right, Thirsty Sword Lesbians. That is what is next. So if Tom ever wakes up to do or comes back to do the giveaway, I will reach out to whomever wins. We know all of you. You're all REM people. So hopefully Sarah can wrest control away from whatever she needs to for the next stream, because it does appear Tom is
Let's we have more people here right now than we did when we started. Let's like talk about what they can win one more time and see if they want to actually do a last minute hashtag REMPC.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, for this one, we are giving away a pair of fire props from
The
Geek Forge. Thank you. So if you last minute entries, if you want to drop a hashtag REMPC in the chat, if you donate 100 bits, we'll also get you another entry. Or if you donate to our GoFundMe, you get an additional entry per every $1.
Show yourselves.
And just to prime you for the next one, the next giveaway will be a mystery package of bar of soap from I'm working with them.
I was gonna say cantrip soaps, but that's not what it is.
What is it?
That's
Alchemy.
Alchemy soaps.
Pure alchemy. Yes, pure alchemy soaps. I could only come up with the alchemy. But yes, it'll be a mystery box of 3 sample bars from Pure Alchemy soaps.
Oh,
for the next giveaway.
I forgot. We didn't get any entries during Power Rangers last game. So we were going to roll that over to this one, and I completely forgot. And I think Panabon said something, and then it's late/early. So I guess whoever wins also gets a game code for A Plague's Tale: Innocence.
Sure. Seems like Tom, our tech, maybe there he is. All right. Our tech is conscious, everybody.
Yay!
Does
And
anybody
he
want like
is-
a recap of what just happened in our stream? If you missed it, let's start from the beginning. We're gonna do it from the beginning. All right, guys. Let's
Rewind.
let's do this all over again.
Well, I have to say this was a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
You made a very interesting campaign especially when you said that there would be no killing. I was like, oh boy. And then I became the face. I'm like, I don't do face. Like, that's not what the character does.
Yeah, our missing player was supposed to be our face, right?
Yes,
that what it was?
they were playing. They were playing a face, a Sam kind of combo.
Ah, okay.
So they would have had more face ability.
Because like I have a charisma of like 3, so I'm just like, Yawn, leave. Like no,
that feels right for
no.
And that actually
Yeah.
makes it. Yeah, that actually justifies the way it all went down.
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's why I wasn't even like asking for roles, because like that was just so like, I mean, you're talking to a bunch of gangers and barons. They're like,
Yeah.
no.
You couldn't even talk to a line at a hot dog stand that way. Like, what? No, dude.
Yeah, and that's pretty much because I have nothing to do with social skills, so it's just like, yeah, we got paid to tell y'all to leave, so leave. Like, just kind of shooting people like they're a bunch of mosquitoes. Like, yeah, just leave.
I knew it.
Oh
I
my
knew it.
God.
It's always. I knew it.
Derica,
It's always Derica.
you've won this one.
Congratulations, Derica.
So is Derica a Decker and she's just manipulating the system? Is that how it's working?
Maybe.
No, she has the luck feat.
All right. So yeah, stick around. Up next will be Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Yes, Derica, you won the pair of fire
Did I win
props
something?
from the Geek Forge.
Congratulations.
All right, congrats. And yeah, everyone stick around. We'll be back with some Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I may or may not step back from that one so I can get a bit more sleep. We'll see. You might see me back.